All right, so yesterday was looking at the poem as a whole and beginning to look at things like figurative language, the writer's tone. Today, what we are going to look at is annotating specifically for the questions. So, if you flip over to page 16, thank you. When my fingers don't work, my brain doesn't work. The next page. So, do we read the answer choices? No. We're totally just taking a look at the questions. So, which line from the poem supports the theme?
I think I know what we write for the keyboard.
Thank you. What would those be?
Support the theme.
Okay. Now go back and look at this sheet from yesterday.
Oh, is it in my notebook?
I think so. I gave everybody tape to put it in your composition notebook.
I think I did that.
I did.
Now, because we already did some work with that on our TP cast, let's write some notes over here. What words did I highlight for theme?
Not suffering,
Uh-huh.
alienation, and hopelessness.
Okay, so I'm going to write those over here just to see if they kind of help me out later. So you can go ahead and write these also.
Hope.
Hopelessness. There you go. And guys, I'm left-handed. I apologize. I have to slant. Now remember, one of the keys is that you skip some lines, give it some space. So number 10, how does the author use stanzas to organize his ideas? Caitlin, what'd you put?
And everything organized ideas.
Say that one more time.
Stanza with like a little arrow.
Okay.
Organized ideas.
Okay.
On the area.
It's asking how the stanzas organize the ideas. So instead of writing how, you put an arrow. Now, look at this. We also addressed that in our handy dandy TP cast yesterday.
Is it the dreamy and happy stuff?
Yeah, because we talked about the shift between stanza 1 and stanza 2. How it went from, yes, that dreamy idea. Good morning, Rachel. I've already started. We're working on the annotations for the Pilgrim that you worked with yesterday. We are happy to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and write some notes here. Now,
Is Rachel on this?
no. No. When the speaker is more hopeful in stanza 1, what kind of images are used in the speaker's description?
Nature.
Nature. And then for the second stanza, you had bitter. Oops, can't finish my thought here. And what was the main focus of stanza 2? Do you remember?
The feelings.
The feelings. Okay, so James and Antonio, we've already started. Good morning. we're doing our annotations from the questions. You have a document on Canvas that you can open up for that. And we're using the TP cast that we did yesterday to help us out. Good morning, Kylie. So those of you at home, if you can have out some notebook paper, you can follow along with us. I am recording it so that people can watch it later. So we've done 9 and 10. We need question 11. In line 9, which word could the author have used in place of grips? So what are our key words here? Line 9. And which word do they want us to look at? In grips. Okay. Now if I go back and look at line 9, I have a tragic, lonely terror grips my heart. What are some synonyms you could put there? Grips my heart. Grabs. Pulls. Caitlin is on it for the synonyms. Awesome. What'd you say? Grasp, clinches. All very good synonyms. Okay? So remember, this one of the strategies when you have these vocabulary questions is to try to figure out synonyms on your own that will help you with that. Clinches, yes. C-L-E-N-C-H-E-S. Yes, sir. You gonna do number 12? Okay.
Line 12,
Okay. Okay, and those of you at home, remember it's also important to keep some space so it's easy for you to read later. So number 12 is asking about line 12, so I'm going to flip back over to line 12. And unto my childhood home I long to start. So what could be a synonym phrase for that? Long to start.
Want to go?
Yes. Now the title is The Pilgrim. What's another verb we could have besides to go? Want to, they've left their homeland. What might they want to do?
Migrate?
What?
Migrate?
Not migrate.
Return.
Return. They might want to return. They've already migrated to somewhere new. But in that second stanza where they talk about the bitterness, the sadness, the loneliness, they are also expressing this idea of wanting to return. Okay. And number 13, how has the speaker changed between the first and second stanzas of the poem? So Brady, what are our key words here in number 13? You're right. And then what?
First and second.
Exactly. Very good. Well, we've already kind of addressed that up here in number 10. The speaker moves from hopeful to bitter or lonely, or some other words used.
Is it also here because we have one in the main Or is it different?
What'd you say, Caitlin? I'm sorry.
Would it be like the we have any of the money areas or the show?
That would be the textual evidence that goes along with it. Absolutely. Okay, we have 3 more questions. We're almost done. Anguished, Anguished. Okay, so this is all I'm going to be able to get on the front of my page. 14. What is the underlying reason for the speaker's point of view? So Grayson, what are your key words here? Underlying, what is the underlying reason for the speaker's point of view?
Point of view and underline.
Okay. So I'm going to put underlying reason. Now when we practiced EOC work a few weeks ago, we talked about point of view. And on the EOC, they're not going to be asking you if it's first person, third person limited, third person omniscient, second person. They're not going to ask that. Point of view means, in this case, what is the speaker feeling? So overall, what do you think is the reason for the speaker feeling this bitterness, this loneliness, this anguish? Yeah. We got through a lot of these questions working on this yesterday. So I'll give you a second, and then I'm going to flip the page over so I can make my new. Those of you at home, do you have everything on the front now? Oh, somebody talk to me. Have you seen the memes? Probably not. Teachers are putting around memes of like, it's like you're conducting a seance. Talk to me if you can hear me. They're still not talking to me. And I've got all this on video. All right. I'm going to flip my paper over. What? You need me to turn it back, Grayson? Okay, hang on one second. Let me get a straight line here. All right. All right. So we have 2 more. All right, so number 15. What does the speaker achieve in the poem with his description of Lithuania? Yes, sir. Okay. Where was that description of Lithuania? Yep. First or second stanza? First. And we could write some notes here. You notice how these kind of middle ones are very important. That in that first stanza, he's very positive, dreamy, happy. And hopeful. And we also, you wrote in your notes for number 10, we keep going back to this question 10, the focus on nature. You'll find on the EOC that they'll often have questions that are centered around the same topic. They're just asking you in different ways. So be aware of that. Am I going too fast? People are still writing. I'll give you a second. And you have last one. How does the speaker's point of view affect his impression of his surroundings? So Caitlin Bain, what would you say are the key words?
Speaker's point of view.
Okay.
Affect surroundings.
Okay, and in terms of point of view, we're going to keep going back to this attitude and shift. His point of view in the beginning, he's describing nature and he's hopeful. And then by the end, he's describing his feelings. And he is bitter, you guys said yesterday. And then I'm going to go back to what you said for number 12. He wants to return. So today, as we annotated for our EOC type questions that you'll answer tomorrow, so you don't even have to answer this today, you'll answer them tomorrow. We used a lot of the notes we took yesterday. Those of you who have not submitted the TP cast from yesterday, I highly recommend you look at the video before you do it on your own and submit it. A couple of you submitted yesterday. I encourage you to go back, review the video, maybe make some changes and resubmit. Okay? But again, this is just for getting your annotations.